Alright, video, yeah, yay. Anyway, yep, recording. Yeah, just not feeling very well. I was feeling better for a few days there. It's kind of, head's fucked up. Watch this comfortable. Bleh. Anyway, just irritating. So I did seem to be getting better. Relapsing kind of sucks. Anyway, thought I had it. And I don't have it yet. Solution. Anyway, all right. I wasn't going to talk about spiritual. No. Life. I know there was a subject I had. I've lost it. Yeah, logic is always a good one. Just this, the whole past, present thing, the whole ball rolling evolution thing. Evolution. That's probably. I mean, I've said it before. It is the word. If you accept evolution, just and work through it, process it as a whole entity. It says so many things about life and what we're doing here, and the horror, of its construction, nature. It's just so bad, just so bad. From a like I said, if you're not going to be programmed or be conditioned into a prejudgment that dismisses the horror, it's just it's just horrible. A bunch of desire machines chasing each other's down, ripping each other to pieces, consuming, reproducing. Just there's mechanics. It's just horrible. It's a gladiator war for no accomplishment. As I've said, dated. That's really not the subject I wanted. It was a better subject. I was here. I just said this is the subject, and then I say there's a better subject. I just mean there's a subject that would be less redundant for me to explore that I did have in my brain. So maybe we'll wait for it and hope it shows back up again. Generally speaking, I should be able to find it because all the subjects are so tied together, in terms of just recognizing, the mechanical nature of our existence. I guess I could talk a little bit about quantum theory because that one's really bothering me. These people they're such liars, It's not like I'm denying quantum mechanics. I'm denying the theory, that photons can watch us and react, and that, they watch us watching them, and that they do magical things and then magically glue themselves back together again. All this, the crap being imposed on quantum mechanics, the crap being, the speculation as to cause for observed phenomenon. I'm not denying the phenomenon, I'm denying the cause. I think one could argue just rationally, like even if you just take, just do a little physics, I'm sorry, I know some people just get so bothered by this stuff. But the two-slit experiment, clearly the whole experiment is contrived around the creation of a randomly generated photon, one that has no precise direction. So the whole experiment is completely contingent on not aiming a gun, all right, and firing it at a hole, and somehow missing the hole but going through the hole, and creating interference on the other side. And so the whole experiment is built around some premise that if the bullet was properly aimed and it went through just one slit, that somehow it would know that it was aimed and it wouldn't go through both slits then. So somehow the photon not only can read our minds, but it knows when we're trying to trick it by actually aiming it, which is, kind of hilarious, right? And so the whole two-slit experiment is completely dependent on creating a structure before you even get to the two slits that creates interference with the photons to try to force them back into the slits. So you generate them in a wide pattern, then you force them back into a narrow pattern, and then you surprisingly see a filtered result at the target, and you say, wow, look, a filtered result. Well, of course you're going to have a filtered result. You filtered the photons. So, right there you can see, just logically, by logical deduction, it's this conclusion that photons are reading minds, are doing, spectacularly bizarre things just because we didn't aim them. It's just nonsense. Obviously, there's another explanation. Obviously, I do say that a lot. Without rational contradiction or counter proof or counter logic, it's beyond reasonable contention that something else must be going on. So anyway, so that's so much of these conversations are just loaded with people contriving arguments. It's like that religious kook doesn't give up. Well, the religious kooks don't give up. I didn't play his whole video, but as soon as he started with, well, an all-powerful God could. Well, yeah, of course, an all-powerful Bugs Bunny could. Yeah, I'm not going to have a conversation about somebody's theory that Bugs Bunny created the universe, because Bugs Bunny's all-powerful, and he could make a flounder, and that because he's a lunatic, he would create it with its eye on the wrong side of its head, and in its gestation, it would, its incubation, wrong word again, whatever the word is for when you're developing in an egg, its eyeball would migrate to the other side of its head. So Bugs Bunny could have done that just for fun. But everybody'd say Bugs Bunny's crazy if it did. Hey, look, another tree has succumbed to the weather. The New Jersey doom. Yeah. This is just amazing. Trees everywhere, but none standing up anymore. Uh-oh. There's two cement things there. No, it's just one. Gotta go get that. Now this is going to be a little bit challenging. Not so bad. I still got skills. Anyway. So all these theories everywhere, and none of them deep or are strong. None of them can withstand the smallest little poke with your finger. And yet these people are so arrogant, so obnoxious. And then they lie about your position. You're just like, what is this? It's just terrible. And they lie about physicists too. You say, oh, the physicists agree. No, they don't. Most physicists, I don't think, believe photons are in two places at once. I don't think they believe that. Anyway, that the wave function is an actual wave. What's being called the wave function. But anyway, no point in arguing that. No point in arguing the incredibility of scientists, because they have become quite incredible too. That's the sad truth. There's just, this is really dire. This is really a bad situation. Because even the smart people are dumb as sticks. Pretty much, right? Stick, hey, do you think a photon can read my mind? No, I don't really think so. Yeah, so even a stick doesn't think that makes sense. Um, there's probably another explanation for the phenomenon than mind reading photons. It's just so bad, so horrible, so awful. What will Gary do in the face of the horror? No, I won't cry. I might run to my couch, run to Bedlam, and hide. Alright, so what else is there? I know there's some other subject. It's not occurring to me. Too bad about the mystic, but, whatever. But I did realize, the last video I did say, the way I was conversing about brain function. And again, you just fall back into these patterns of using words to describe my thinking or I. You do say it more often than I would like. I won't say you. I won't imply something about you. My brain, my personality reaches for that I term more often than I would like the programming to do. Oh, that's sort of a good subject, is programs and the ones that we modifying each other. The programs that tell us we need better programs. It's just kind of funny that people just aren't getting it. That's the key thing that people like the Piros are missing. He thinks there's one program that's actually him. Like, all right, well, I have that nasty lust feeling. That's not necessarily me. That's only me when I want to be lustful. And I have that foot fetish, and I have that spiritual, belly button fetish thing. And then I like to eat animals, and I like to do this. But those aren't me. This guy here talking now is me. Except when I'm one of those people. I mean, he's just not getting the whole multi-personality thing. And he's not getting that there are these ideas or themed programs, and that they have battled inside of you for supremacy. And there's a hierarchy of your associations. So at some point in my history, you saw some guy land on the moon and he said, "May truth and justice prevail." Or he said, something. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And, so I got this, program bug up my ass that said, hey, somehow this truth thing's important. Don't be a liar. And so it became a directive. It became a running, wheeling, dealing theme that has supremacy in my operating system. It pops up all the time like malware. Just boom, 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 Don't fuck the truth, Gary, don't fuck the truth, don't fuck the truth. Except when you're in bed. Or trying to get into bed. So it has rules, obviously. But, and that's something that becomes a piece of you, is this program, this agenda thing, this recognition of a priority, of something important. And it's you. The lust is you. The thought about, she's a little bit young, you don't want to go to jail, better get an ID. All of those programs are you. It's not like the one that prevailed in the end was the real you. No, they're all you. And they negotiated a solution to their any kind of dissonance that existed. There wasn't any hope for any other solution. There wasn't any hope for a better result. I'm a cranky bitch. I waved and waved back. But she had her ears on, as the mystic would say. So, I don't know if that makes you blind too, but maybe I waved too late. You do feel kind of embarrassed when you give a little piece of yourself for something, or do a gesture and somebody just totally doesn't get it, that you just did a nice thing. You're just like, man, you could acknowledge that. It doesn't take much work. Hey, weirdo. Yeah, you could do that. Not a big deal. Anyway, where was I? Programs. Yeah, programs is a great subject. Because that's all you are. That's all you are. You're just in this bunch of associated hierarchical occurrences of consciousness. That was even in Piro's room, right? The one guy was pretty rational. And he pretty much said this shit. Essentially that your consciousness is this little piece of you. I mean, the substance of you is not your consciousness. It's all the subconscious that builds all the sentences. It's saying stuff way before you hear yourself say it. It has all the hard formatting. All the hard structure is in this subconscious stuff, and what flies out of view at the end is a very finished product. It's also a very slow product. And that's another thing that's kind of funny. People are talking about how complex our brain is, and you can never simulate us, and blah blah blah. It's so complex, so complex. The only complexity is in the language. That's the hardest part. That's the part that would slow down a computer. AI wouldn't be any problem if it wasn't for the complexity of sentence structure and using the right word and saying the word with the right gestures. But I mean, the sentences we speak are not that complicated, especially if you were contriving a personality, because then you just come up with one-liners to get out of almost any situation. Somebody says, "Why did you do that?" And you said, "Well, why do birds fly?" You know what I mean? You could use the "why do birds fly" reply to almost any why question. Somebody asks you a why question, you say, "Why do birds fly?" Why did the baby cross the road? Because it was tied to the chicken. Those you go forever with just little cliches. You could build a cliche engine and call it AI. But in a lot of ways, that's all we are, is cliches. A bunch of, even look in this video, right? I mean, I tried to give things a little bit of angle here, tried to do something with it. But even though it has multiple subjects in it, it's fallen right into the pattern of Gary video. It's a cliche Gary video. And that's the way we work. I wonder if I'll do the cover today. I just don't know if I have the stuff. Whoa, got attacked. This really do feel like crap. Anyway, I mean, not horrible crap. I just have a general crap style of feeling. Like this. Got most of the water out. Get the last little bit and fill up the pool and be in business. Fix me. Throw a little add on. Throw a little add on. Well, something like that. Anyway, so I was talking to a grandmother. She was talking about some grandchild, blah blah blah. She was picking the kid up from school, didn't know the neighborhood very well, had to take a detour. Anyway, the 5-year-old kid gave her directions, which is pretty good. And so she thanked the 5-year-old, and the 5-year-old said, "Don't thank me, thank my brain." So just kind of ironic that I hear that story today, and that's really the subject of so much of this conversation. Is a 5-year-old's recognition that the brain does stuff. You don't do it. And if you are going to be a you, you have to sort of acknowledge that the you is brain. That you is program. That you is I understand. I understand. I mean, maybe we should call ourselves, maybe I'll rename myself officially, I understand. Because that's all I am. I am understanding. There, you can even say that. I am beliefs. I am ideology. I am conditioned responses. I am neurotically aberrant conditioned responses, unfortunately. Yeah, and that's what we are. No need for other crap, no magic, no any of that shit. If you have character, it's because somebody kicked it into you. Somebody put it there. Something put it there. Some event put it there. Some, Fred Flintstone taught you a lesson. I don't know who, but somebody did. And, you learned it. You didn't make it. Well, sort of. I mean, you, again, the collection of programs collectively hammer out who you become. So through the cooperative and competitive work they do, all the little programs, all the little associations, the mechanics, it all just grinds like a clock, and it pops the time out here. And, that's what we are. Byproduct. That's another key concept. Byproduct. You're a byproduct. Not a product, a byproduct. Yeah. Yeah. So even a 5-year-old can do it. And, but philosophers, no. They are too fancy pantsed. Yeah, just to recognize something simple. Brain did it. Yeah, no. That can't be the truth. Yeah. So they can't take credit. But that is sort of the dilemma. It's the credit blame thing. But again, credit and blame are just frosting. They're just nonsense of ego needs. Hurt somebody's feelings with blame or make them feel good with credit. But the bottom line is whether you're going to give them a reward or a punishment. And you only do that when it's going to mean something. When it's going to get you more value. If it's going to encourage people to do more thinking, or if it's going to encourage people to do less crime. So it is kind of the whole there's just no mechanism without the future again being calculated as the only thing that really matters. So if you're not going to affect the value in the future, your job is done. There's nothing else to do. I don't know if you need the woe part. You got it for free. A little windy, so I think we'll give up here. I'm just off. Something's... Yeah. Just can't get into the flow of my life. Anyway, that's enough of a thing. I'll lean on this tree for a moment. So, till next time and such, and so forth and whatnot. Really, it's quite lovely, except for the breeziness. I'm not a big fan of breeziness. Don't have much use for it. And such. It's good at the ocean or something, but yeah, I don't like it here. Yeah, just keep it at the ocean. Put it in a cage. Anyway, till next time.